Hi guys, so I wanted to record a video talking about how we're going to deal with the forearm muscles. Okay, so the forearm muscles are kind of complex and there are a lot of them and they're pretty hard to tell the difference between which one is which. And so the way that we're going to handle them is that we are going to call the ones that are on kind of the ventral side or the anterior side, so the one that's facing forward when we're in anatomical position. These are going to be our flexors. And on the back side, these are going to be our extensors. Okay, so remember, flexors are going to allow for flexing, and our extensors are going to allow for extension. And so when we talk about these, so if we point to the front of the forearm, you're going to say those are the flexors, carpi, or digitorum. Okay, so carpi and digitorum, you can use either of those terms and you'll be fine. On the back, we're going to then say, like, if we point at these, so what muscles are these? These are going to be your extensors, carpi, or digitorum. Okay, so again, we have flexors. These are the ones that flex the arm or the hand, and then we have the extensors, which are going to extend the hand. Okay, so flexors on the front, extensors on the back. So now we're going to take a look at the muscles that move the wrist, hand, and fingers. So the first muscle I want to point out is going to be the flexor carpi radialis. Okay, so this muscle is going to be originating on the humerus and is going to insert on the metacarpals. And it's going to have an action of flexing the hand at the wrist. We then are going to have the flexor carpi ulnaris, and so we have to kind of go towards the medial side of this. And this is our flexor carpi ulnaris. So this is going to kind of originate on the humerus as well and insert on the metacarpals. Okay, if we then change over to our flexor digitorum muscles, I'm going to actually hide our flexor carpi radialis. And beneath this, we have our flexor digitorum superfallius muscle. Okay. And then if we actually hide that muscle, beneath that, we can see our next muscle, which is our flexor digitorum profundus. And right next to that muscle is going to be our flexor pollicis longus muscle. Okay, and so those are going to be all the flexors that we have. Okay, remember that we're going to just call all of these the flexor carpi or flexor digitorum muscles. The carpi muscles are going to be the ones that are kind of more superficial, and the digitorum are going to be slightly deeper to those. So we're now going to look at our extensors. So we have to kind of rotate, and we're going to be looking at the posterior side of the arm. So we are going to start with our extensor carpi or ulnaris muscle right here. So this is going to be involved in extending the hand. We then are going to have right next to it is going to be our extensor digitorum muscle. Okay, so those kind of go along the top of the hand. Right next to that, we then have our extensor carpi radialis brevis. So it's the shorter of the two. And then we're going to have right next to that our extensor carpi radialis longus muscle. Okay, the muscle that's right next to that one in the front is the brachioradialis that we've already talked about. Okay, so we can go over those again. Extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor digitorum, extensor carpi radialis brevis, and extensor carpi radialis longus muscle. But we are going to just call all of those muscles the extensor carpi muscles or the extensor digitorum muscles.